Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Jared Fincher from the Miles with Boyer team. I'm excited to bring to you today a awesome review from Dehancer Pro. So our friends at Dehancer reached out asking for us to give a honest review of the Dehancer Pro plugin. We're using Davinci for all of our video editing. And so I've gotten to play with Dehancer a little bit, and I'm actually pretty impressed. And I want to show you what we've done with our drone footage. Looked on YouTube, there's a ton of reviews about Dehancer, but I didn't really see anything that was focused on drone footage. And I don't know about you, but I've always had issues with getting my drone footage to look exactly like I want it to in Davinci. And I don't know if that's because of the stock like presets and LUTs that come with Davinci never really fit the type of drone that I'm using. But with Dehancer, it changes everything. So let me show you how I got from this to this. Okay, hey, check this out. So here is a library of drone clips that I took from our trip in Cabo 2 weeks ago. And this is where I've found some really awesome sauce with Dehancer. I've always had issues trying to get my drone footage to look exactly like I want it to. I love that film look. I love deep colors. We shoot Fuji for all of our camera stuff. And so trying to get the drone footage to match as much as I can to the Fuji photos is really my goal. So check this out. So I'm going to use a sunset clip that I shared with you earlier. It's going to be this one right here. And so I'm going to go to my timeline and I'm going to pull that one out here, which I think it was this one right here. So I'll pull that into my timeline here. So this was kind of a sunset clip going off. So it's shot in D-Log, so super, super flat. But look how easy this is with Dehancer Pro. So I'm literally going to just have one node here. I'm going to search for the Dehancer Pro. Pop that on there. Okay, so it defaults to acting as if the source file is going to be Rec 709. But check this out. If you just go to choose camera, and this is where I think I wasn't able to get this in DaVinci, because over here, like, it doesn't have the Air S2 on here. So, but if I go to vendor, DJI, go to Air 2S from D-Log, and this is where I begin. And so I'm just going to walk you through kind of what I did to this file before. Instead of coming down here to my color wheels, I'm going to actually do everything right in here. And this just makes it so easy. So I'll work on my exposure a little bit and just kind of eyeballing stuff. I really want to warm that up because the temperature, the sunset was just so beautiful that night. The fringe, not going to mess with that stuff. I mean, it's really just kind of eyeballing stuff to see what you like. But I really love, when I was looking through these, I love the Fuji color. Again, that's what we're shooting in our cameras. And so I'm going to go with the Eterna Vivid 500 and just look what this does. Okay. I can mess with this push and pull, which kind of change the contrast of it. And just try to get it to where I like it, somewhere in there. Go down to the film developer and I can enable this. Check out this. When I color boost this jazz, it starts to come to life. And so I'll bring this back just a little bit, mess with my contrast boost. You know, there's kind of like a natural vignette that was kind of happening in that. And so I'm going to keep kind of embrace that a little bit. Go down to film compression, and this is stuff that you can just play with. Okay, I love that brings back some of my sky a little bit, but if I turn up the color density, it's just gonna help some of that come to life. Okay, it's literally just bringing the drone footage to life. So when I first started messing with this, that was just the one thing that really stood out to me. It was like, this is so easy. Like, I don't have to come down here and mess with any of these wheels. Like, I can just do it all within this plugin. So just kind of eyeballing my black point here. I'll keep that enabled. And just figuring out what you want. It's going to be like really slight edits here. But again, bringing that color density up, figuring out where that needs to sit. And it's automatically applying grain to it, which I'm honestly probably going to turn off. Again, the color head, you can come in here. I mean, you can get really, I mean, it has so much control over your file that you can kind of, you can tweak this for hours, but I'm going to keep that enabled. Okay, the grain on here, I'm just going to turn this off because I don't really need it. Halation, I don't really need it for this, but you see what it does to the water here. If I go full screen, it kind of brings that highlight up on the water, which I don't know. I kind of like that actually. So I'm gonna turn that back on. So you can go through these custom focal lengths. I kind of like the 65mm to 70mm, and I'll just kind of show you what that looks like. I mean, so that's 65, and that's without it. So I think it kind of tames it just a little bit. So I'm gonna go back to that 65. The bloom kind of does the same thing. So this is with it on. I'm gonna go to 65 on this as well. But check this out. So this is with the bloom. It kind of like in this area here, kind of makes the highlights look kind of like not fuzzy, but like gives it kind of more of a film look. And then if I turn that off, it's just slight, but I kind of like it. So I'm going to turn the bloom back on, and I'm just going to turn it down just a little bit. Okay, this is where you get into a lot of the more technical like film stuff, like film damage. In my opinion, like the film damage is not really the route I want to go. Film breath, I'm not going to use that either. All this stuff, the overscan, gate weave, even the vignette, I'm not going to use because my image is already kind of naturally doing a vignette there. And then this is cool. You come down to the output and literally you can turn it off and turn it back on and get it to that place. Because honestly, this is probably a little bit strong. So I can bring it back just a little bit. Oh, yeah. And that gets me kind of where I want to be. So full screen here. And you get to see that awesome sunset. Okay, and I did this all within that plugin, which just makes it so easy. It just kind of takes the stress off of like all these nodes, like trying to convert things, and it just kind of does it all in Dehancer. So again, this is just like a really quick overview of what it did to the drone footage. But you really could go so in depth, and honestly the film profiles, I mean, it's really like what works for you. So if I go down to the Portra like 400, I mean that messes my sky. The blues change up a little bit. I can change. I mean, it's really just like all your preference, and going through these, like everything does a little bit something different. And so it really, you can sit here and play with this stuff for hours, but I love what it does to the color of it. I have been just like searching for something that would bring our drone footage to life. And really, when I get to the Fuji stuff, it really helps us connect with the photos, because this is the kind of color we're getting out of our photos from our GFX system. And so to have the drone be able to match that, it's pretty awesome. Okay, I know that wasn't super technical, but hopefully that helped you see the power that is packed into the Dehancer Pro plugin. So if you're a beginner, I think this is super helpful because everything is right there. And for DaVinci Resolve, you can kind of get lost in all the color wheels and conversions and all that stuff. But with the Dehancer Pro plugin, it puts it all right there. Okay, so you see how it takes the D-Log from the drone footage and really brings it to life, and even gives it the film look that is really accurate. So I've been really pleased with it. Even just for drone footage, we shoot FX3 for our other video stuff, and I played with it a little bit with the FX3 and gotten some of the same great results with the film simulations. Like, it looks pretty awesome. So hey, if you're interested interested in grabbing the Dehancer Pro, I'm going to put a code down below here to give you 10% off. Check it out, see if it works for you. The beauty of it is that you can download a trial, and in 1080p, you can look at your footage and kind of see how it works for you and get your hands on it more than just watching a YouTube video. But if you do decide that you want to purchase the Dehancer Pro, check out that code that's going to get you 10% off. And subscribe, like, if this is super helpful. We're going to be doing more tutorial videos in the future, and hopefully this year doing more of this stuff. So hopefully it was helpful, and hopefully I'll hear from you soon.